Alright, here's the walkthrough. I'm gonna play through the entire thing semi-slowly and then break it down. Alright, so it's in B Lydian, and a Lydian scale is just like a major scale but with a raised fourth. So you got, that's the note to look out for. We start here with a B major 7 arpeggio. So let's change the pickup here so you don't get all that buzz. So we got 14, 18, 16, 15, 16, 14, 18. And the way I pick this is down, hammer, down, 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 up. And here's where on the 16th fret is where we're gonna start the pedal point section. And a pedal point just means that you're pedaling from a note. And in this case it's the 18th fret of the high E string. So every other note is going to be that note. So right, so the actual pattern here is just the Lydian scale going down. So we got 16, 18, 14, 18, 13, 18, change to the B string, 16, 18, 14, 18, and then we shift down to 11 here on the B string. So whoops. After the sweep arpeggio, we're gonna end up with a downstroke here on the 16th fret. Now we're gonna play a pedal point lick, and a pedal point is simply every other note. In this case, we're gonna go back to the same high note here. So the 18th fret of the high E string. So, and that will be on upstroke. So we go down on 16, up on 18, down on 14, up on 18, down on 13, up on 18, and then we'll go to the B string, play down on 16, up on 18, down on 14, up on 18. So you got all this in the tab as well, of course. After this, we're gonna switch position to 11 here. So this is the rest of this will be all 3 note per string, using this scale, or this fingering rather. So we got 14, 13, 11 on high E string, 14, 12, 11 on the B string, 13, 11, 10, 13, 11, 9, and then same thing on the next string, same thing on the next string, and then finally the 7th fret is where we're gonna end up. And what we're gonna play here is that's type of sequence. So we go up, and from here we're gonna go. So it's sort of like a group of 4 descending thing here. So probably as easiest to learn that first. So you go. Right. And from here we're gonna go just descend. And if you do everything correctly, you're gonna end up with a downstroke here. So from the pedal point thing here, or from the beginning. Practice-wise, we've got a few different sections here that feel kind of different from each other. So the first one here is to get this down, if you're not used to the sweep stuff. And I would just suggest working on this 5-string sweep, going back again as well. So I always try to make a loop of something that I have a problem with. So So in this case I would pick it down, hammer, down, 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 up, pull off, up, 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 down. Right, and you can repeat this starting down here on the first fret, out of view of the camera, but you just move it up in half steps after 2 or 3 or 4 repetitions. It's perfect for practicing while watching Netflix or something. Just make sure that you use the correct technique. And the correct technique in this case, when you do it slowly, is to make sure that the pick always falls to the next string. So down, look at my pick here. I'm always in contact with a string, except when I reverse on each side. So down, hammer, down, 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 down. So I'm always falling to the next string. So I'm not doing this. Right, same thing when we go back. So when I do the upstroke here, I'm already anchored on the B string, below the B string in this case. Pull up, 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 down. So try to keep that consistent and you'll progress much faster. Because the way the brain learns all this stuff is whatever you repeat, that's what you're going to get out eventually. So if you repeat a lot of bad movements, that's what you're going to get. But if you repeat a lot of good movements and also repeating everything try to get it as consistent as possible, because if you do 100 repetitions and they're all the same, that's much easier for your brain to pick up on, like, okay, this is what we're doing, instead of like doing 70 good repetitions and then you do 30 that's so, then obviously you won't progress as fast. Alright, so that's the first one, and then you're probably gonna need to work on this. But this is, just do this, you have a loop in itself here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 notes. So the hard part is probably when you have to, this thing is just single string picking, but then you got to keep the rhythm consistent when you go to this outside picking thing. And if that's giving you a problem, you can even just loop this. And of course move that around all over the fretboard as well. And try other string groups as well. So what I did here was just moving down diatonically in whatever scale you want, right? So if we keep it to, let's do E minor for simplicity's sake. So we would go right, so and keep going like that and do it all over the fretboard. So the next string group would be this one. You could probably play it, you get 3 notes on this string instead. So it's just take the basic concept and then move it around either diatonically or just do it chromatically. And doing it chromatically would just mean that you keep the same shape, just move it down 1 fret. So both ways are good, so it just depends on what you want to do that particular time. The most important thing is that you keep the motions consistent and you do a lot of repetitions. Alright, so and this one here is also really easy to loop. This one I would do diatonically as the rest, but also try doing it with what I do with most anything that I need to work on when it comes to the 3-note per string stuff. I just divide my hand in the 4 different possible 3-note per string fingerings, which is either 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4. And if you do that, just translate this one here to 1, 2, 3 would be right? And 1, 2, 4, and 1, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4. So the picking pattern will be exactly the same for every fingering here, which is good. But you also get to work on the synchronization between all possible variations. And I'm not going overboard and going like, okay, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 4. I think once you have the synchronization with, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, then it's just a matter of all the 3-note per string fingerings for the scales just consists of different combinations of these 4 different ones, right? So if you have them down, it's just a matter of working on that particular pattern, but that should be more of like a memorization thing for that pattern more than a synchronization exercise, if that makes sense. So this is more like the mechanical side of it, and working on the actual scale pattern is more the musical memory side of it. Hope that makes sense. If not, just leave a comment below and I'll try to explain it a bit better. So besides that, also work on the dotted rhythms. That would be long, short, short, long. So that would be, if we do this thing, for example, that would be... And so it's sort of a super exaggerated swing feel with the long, short. So you don't really want to go... You basically want to have a long note and then have a short note as fast as possible in between. So... And then turn that around so you go short, long. Right, and then you can do gallop, same thing here. So it's not really a, it's more, right, and then reverse gallop. Just gets weird after a while, but take your time. You can, the long notes can be as long as you want. It's just a matter of, and also the short notes shouldn't be faster than you can handle. So if you, this won't work if you do it sloppily. It's all about just playing parts of the thing faster, right? So finally, just go through it with whatever subdivision you want. So maybe 16th notes, and then when you do that, make sure to accent the first 16th notes of every beat, the second, the third, and fourth, and so on. So you would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Then the second one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the third and the fourth, and so on. Then you can do that with 6 tuplets, so 6 notes per beat, or quintuplets, 5 notes per beat, whatever you want. But the more you do with rhythmic stuff like that, the better your synchronization will get. Because all synchronization means is that when you do this perfectly in time and you do this perfectly in time, then you should be good to go with the synchronization stuff, right? Alright, hope you like this one, and if you have any questions at all, just post them below and I'll try to get you an answer as soon as possible. For private lessons over Skype, you can just DM me on Instagram or YouTube or whatever. And yeah, tell your friends and see you in the next one.